guys, so I haven't filmed in ages and I'm gonna stop making excuses because no one cares. Like, no one cares. You guys don't care. I'm bored, you're bored, everyone's bored, okay? It's fine. Sometimes I just burn out a little bit and then I just like take the week off and then I come back and I come back happy. And I hope that's what everyone cares about. But I'm not going to make any more excuses, okay? So, yeah. Today we're catching up on drama from last week because there's actually nothing happening right now. Like, current, like, new stuff. Obviously, I know, like, you guys have tagged me in past stories, but it's, like, last week's stories. So I'm just going to cover them this week. And then hopefully something will happen this week that I can kind of swiftly move into. But it's actually kind of nice that I took the break because I could just, like, catch up on some drama, you know, with you guys and sit down and have a chit chat and have fun. So subscribe with the bell icon for engagement. Let's just get into it. So today we have a beige lawsuit. That's what I'm calling it. It's the battle of the beiges. I'm dead serious actually. There is a lawsuit from one influencer to another over a beige aesthetic. No, I'm dead serious. I know. Because I heard the silence. It was deafening and I'm dead serious. This is what's happening. So I'm going to say, like, there's the OG and the copy, but I don't think either one is the OG or the copy. I just think they both have a beige aesthetic, which is very popular with, like, the soft life influencer group. I recently spoke about Marlena Velez, and she has a beige aesthetic. I talked about, who else? Like, just anyone. A lot of people that do, like, the Amazon affiliate, which actually both of these girlies do the Amazon affiliate stuff where they just like, you need these 10 Stanley accessories. And it's all just like beige stuff, right? They all have a beige aesthetic. There's no color in the house. There's no color on the outfits, which is fine because like, what am I wearing right now? Beige, but I'm not suing anyone over it, you know? So we have Sydney Nicole, who's the OG, and we have Alyssa, who is the copy. Okay, now, when I looked into this, Alyssa had taken down her TikTok account, which was on about 300,000 followers, but her Instagram is still up. Now, I don't know if that's to do with the legal proceedings, like she needed to take it down for like the duration of, which is so crap if it was kind of forced upon her. If she took it down by her own, like, whatever, she just kind of decided to take it down, then fine. However, if this is like mandated, then if let's say it you know, it's ruled that she didn't copy, then are they going to pay her back for the money that she didn't make in the time that she had to like have her TikTok taken down? But I'm going to check if it's up now. But this is Nicole's TikTok. She's on 600,000 followers. My home fashion and Amazon find. Entering my mum era. With a little brown heart, obviously, because it fits the aesthetic. My storefront. And yes, it's just stuff like this. You guys have seen this aesthetic. Now tell me, is this new? Is this breaking the mold? Is this something you guys haven't seen before? Is this revolutionary? I would think not. She also has her Instagram. It's on 300,000 followers. Sydney Nicole Gifford. My home fashion Amazon finds, Minnesota, with a little heart. And once again, is this breaking the mold? Is this crazy, shocking, and amazing? Like, I love it. I think it's super clean, super like, I'd love to see this, but I'm also not going to be offended if I see 10 people with the same aesthetic, because there's actually way more than 10 people with this aesthetic. There are so many people with this aesthetic. Now I can't even speak anymore. With this aesthetic. Like, this chair material is so popular. Corduroy, not corduroy, is super popular. Like these vases, like this, these trench coat, like all of this, it has been so, like road phone case that 10 other have, like this fur coat, like all of this is so standard. But I love it. Like, I love someone can stick to a theme because that can never be me. But like, I love it. Alyssa's, like I said, Instagram is still up. So she's in Austin, Texas, your Amazon BFF, shop my Amazon faves. Once again, she links her shop, her storefront. 140,000 followers-ish. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this aesthetic is actually kind of different. Now that I'm looking at it, it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit more grungy. I know, using the word grunge is very, like, strong. It's a strong way to put it, but, like, compared to the other one, it's a little bit more grungy. It's a little bit more Tumblr-esque. It's a little bit more dark. Like, I don't know. It's just a little darker. It's a little, you know, maybe she changed her aesthetic recently. Who knows? But, like, even this, it's like white, but the contrast is up. There's a lot of like black in there and like, I don't know, like it's just a little bit different. And I know I'm like nitpicking now because like how different can these aesthetics be, but is this worthy of a lawsuit? is what I'm trying to figure out. There was an Influencers in the Wild post about it, which like Influencers in the Wild started out as like a filming influencers like out and about filming content looking really dumb, which is always funny, but also is the reason why like I wouldn't do TikTok, just because I'm like, oh my god, like filming a TikTok as is so cringe, and then having someone film you filming a TikTok is ultra uber cringe, so I'm just not going to do that. But this is what they said: I've seen a lot of petty stuff over the years in the influencer space, but suing someone for copying your essentially lame and boring aesthetic that you didn't create and don't own is on another level. That's another thing. It's like, this girl didn't beige as this, you can't say someone is copying it, okay? But maybe that'd even be a bit like 1% more like credibility to it if you were like the first beige aesthetic girly. And even then, you're setting a trend. Isn't that what you do as an influencer? You influence people to follow trends that you set. So like, wouldn't you want everyone else to be a beige girly? Or wouldn't you at least expect everyone else to be a beige girly if you're doing it and you're an influencer who influences? Do you only want to influence people to buy stuff, but you don't want to influence people to like copy you? But then if you're influencing them to buy stuff, you're making them buy stuff that you wear, which will ultimately put them in the beige aesthetic. It's just very strange when people get very, you know, weird about it. It's like, I don't know if you guys remember the renovation drama that happened like maybe 2 years ago, where a girl created a wallpaper with a company, and then another influencer was remodeling her house in a similar style and used that wallpaper that the girl was selling as a collab. And then the original girl that created the wallpaper was basically like, oh my god, you copied my aesthetic, even though she literally created a wallpaper to sell to the public. It's like, did you not want people to buy it and use it? Right? Okay, so then Sydney Nicole Gifford is suing Alyssa Shield for copyright infringement, claiming Shield copied her content style, appearance, and product recommendations, which allegedly impacted Gifford's earnings. Both of them create similar content featuring neutral, coloured home decor and lifestyle products from Amazon, earning commission through affiliate links. The case raises questions about copyright protection in influencer content and the inherent similarities that arise from algorithm-driven content creation. Now, someone, you know, there's a lot of comments. Imagine suing someone because you think you invented beige. Oat milk sues soy milk. Hope they both have to spend a ton of money on lawyers and ultimately never get a resolution. I'm the journalist who wrote the big story about this case. You can read the full piece on my page. Okay. Oh, I know who you are, because I'm going to react to your TikTok, I think. Now they have to influence the judge. May the beigest win. So influencers do all that so people won't copy them. Yeah, like that's what I mean. It's like so weird to call yourself an influencer but then not want to influence people to buy stuff. Even if it's a fellow influencer. Like, I think we've seen more egregious, copies. This isn't, because we've seen stuff where people copy TikTok word for word and then try and blow up on that, but just an aesthetic is not, you know. Right, so let's watch this TikTok by a lawyer.
It's a lawsuit happening between two influencers that brings up so many questions around the creator industry that I honestly will be thinking about the story for the rest of my life. This video might be a little long, but just buckle in. I promise it's worth it. Also, just right off the bat, I want to say I'm a journalist and I was able to write about this lawsuit and interview some of the people involved. So
it is her.
Based on my reporting. This is Sydney Nicole Gifford. She's 24 and she is an Amazon influencer. What that means is she promotes Amazon products on her videos or on her photos on social media and then makes a little bit of money every time you purchase using her affiliate link. Unlike a lot of influencers, she pretty much only promotes Amazon products, and she told me that Amazon basically pays her bills. This is how she makes her living. This is the type of content she posts. This is what it looks like. It's all very neutral, beige, cream, black, plain. Some people might call it basic, some people might call it minimal, some people might describe it as clean girl, but this is very consistent across her profiles, across her content. And then when I went and visited her, this is exactly what her house looks like. Everything is cream, everything is beige. And this is Alyssa Shield. She is also an Amazon influencer doing exactly the same thing. She's 21 and she lives in Austin. Now, before the lawsuit, there's some important context. Alyssa and Sydney actually know each other in real life. Back when Sydney also lived in Austin, the two had met up a couple times to hang out and support each other's businesses, sort of like girls supporting girls. At these meetups, there was also another influencer friend of Sydney's. And Alyssa says that during the meetings, she felt like she was excluded or they were icing her out. And Sydney and the other influencer deny this, but everyone agrees on what happens next. Alyssa blocks Sydney on social media. When this happened, Sydney told me she didn't really think much of it. She was like, I get it, influencing is hard, it can be difficult for your mental health, like whatever. And so she carried on just doing her work, and then 10 months later, something changed. Months after she was blocked, Sydney started hearing from followers saying that other people saw Alyssa's content on their social media feeds and thought that it was Sydney. Followers told her that the content looked just like Sydney's, that it was beige, cream, neutral, and they even thought that it was Sydney posting the video, and then they would look at the name and it was actually Alyssa. When Sydney goes and looks...
Is that an issue of copying, or is that just an issue of being unoriginal? Like, is all content just starting to look the same? Are we all starting to look the same? Like, the other day, Alex Earl wore some skinny jeans, and some girls were in the comments saying, oh no, don't make skinny jeans come back. I don't want to wear skinny jeans. Well, guess what, girlie? You don't have to wear them. I'm going to be so honest with you. Like, just because it's a trend and Alex Earl is wearing it does not mean you have to wear it. You can just choose to keep on wearing baggy jeans and the world will keep on spinning. Life will exist. Is it just an issue of everyone just needs to follow every single trend, and if you can't follow a trend you get really upset about it? So it's like one's not copying the other, it's just more of a everyone is just starting to look the same and be the same and act the same and dress the same because everyone wants to follow a trend and fit in.
When Sydney goes and looks on Alyssa's page, she finds tons of overlap between the type of content they're posting. Here are some screenshots that Sydney submitted to court. These are Alyssa's posts. Does it remind you of anything? Again, here are Sydney's. So clearly it's...
I mean, yeah, they look similar. Like 100,000 other people whose houses look like that.
Sydney says that not only is the vibe the same, but also they're promoting the same products. And sometimes Alyssa is promoting the same product that Sydney promoted just a few days after her. So here's an example. The plaintiff is Sydney, the defendant is Alyssa, and Sydney...
Bose. They were like the trendiest. They were the moustache of the Tumblr era for a solid year. You couldn't get away from Bose. Bose were on everything, on rings, on nails, on earrings, on hair. It was Bose central because of the coquette trend. And so it's just, once again, it's like, is it you or is it just a trend that everyone else is following? Like, you didn't invent Bose. And if they're just like the most popular product on Amazon, obviously that's the one that's going to get linked for everyone.
Here's another example. They're both promoting this Amazon pots and pans set. Phone cases, similar posts like this on Instagram. And at this point, Sydney starts to...
A post in a car? Like, I understand if you just take these out of context and say like, look, side by side, they look exactly the same. But then if you actually focus on that and Google girl in car on Pinterest, you'll find about 100,000 of the same post. Okay, so it's just kind of, it's hard for me to...
And at this point, Sydney starts to register all of her content with the Copyright Office and sends cease and desist orders to Alyssa, basically saying, stop copying me. Sydney also claims that Alyssa copied how she looks, so changing her hair color, similar to what Sydney has. Sydney even claims that Alyssa got the same...
We're copying brown hair now? Like, is that possible?
To register all of her content with the Copyright Office and send cease and desist orders to Alyssa, basically saying, stop copying me. Sydney also claims that Alyssa copied how she looks, so changing her hair...
That hair is also not the same. One is like a dark brown, almost black, and one is like a mid-tone chocolatey brown. It's just not the same thing at all. Oh my God.
Her hair color, Sydney has. Sydney even claims that...
Oh, a flower tattoo.
Claims that Alyssa got the same tattoo, and the person in the white is Sydney.
But it's not the same. It's the same placement. It's a similar vibe, but it's a minimalistic fine line tattoo of a flower that we've seen on Pinterest 100,000 times. Once again, let me just open Pinterest real quick because I'm not going to be able to get my point across unless I do this. Right. Okay, so like, is this one copying? Is this one copying? Is this one with the bows? With the bows? I said they were popular. Are we copying? Are we copying? Are we copying with the bows? How dare you? Bows are reserved only for one person. Beige. Minimalistic fine line tattoo. Let me say flower fine line tattoo. Right. Oh, same placement too. Same placement. Same placement. Same placement. Same placement. Same placement. Same placement. Pretty much same placement. Like, down to the place where they've put it. You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Bows. Actually, let's say bow earrings. Right. We've been doing this. This has been popular. Now, girl in car. Right. Like, are we now, should all of these girlies here copyright claim the original girl? I can't even tell the difference between their names. Hold on. One's like called Sydney and one's called, yeah, Sydney's apparently the OG and Alyssa's the copier. So should these girls all copyright Sydney? Because to me, this is like beige girl aesthetic in a car. Honestly, imagine that was actually Sydney and she's just like on Pinterest too. But like all of these, right, brown hair too. How dare you? Oh, this one is actually the trifecta. Come on, load. We have a bow, we have dark brown hair, we have a car, and we have beige. Like, this is the trifecta right here. Oh, another one. Bow, beige, brown hair. Oh, another one. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Right. So what are we talking about? Really and truly, what are we talking about?
And the black is Alyssa. Alyssa says, and she told me that it was completely a coincidence and she found this inspiration on Pinterest. And Alyssa also says that she never copied Sydney, that she never even thought about Sydney in that time in between. It's just what influencer content looks like. And now Sydney is suing Alyssa, claiming that because Alyssa made photos and posted photos that looked like Sydney's, had her vibe, that she was infringing on Sydney's copyright, which is a very novel claim. That's not really how copyright works, but so far the case has been progressing. Sydney is also suing Alyssa for misappropriation, which means appropriating someone's likeness, what they look like, what they sound like, and profiting from it. And that's where that tattoo and hair color, those things come into play. There are so many strange things about this lawsuit because on one hand, if you didn't know the Amazon influencer ecosystem, I think you would see all these side-by-side photos and be like, there's definitely something going on. But if you've spent time in that side of TikTok, you know that this is just what content looks like. There are 1,000 other women who have this exact same vibe, who talk the same way, and who promote the same products. Regarding the misappropriation claim, I also think it's important to mention that Alyssa is a Black Latina woman and Sydney identifies as a white Hispanic woman. So you get into this weird, very uncomfortable place where now you have a white woman accusing a Black woman of looking too much like her.
Right. Because I was confused for a minute who was copying. Once again, I was confused about the names. But yeah, that is weird. Strange.
Too much like her. Sydney's argument is that when they both posted photos like this with their phone in front of their face, that they absolutely looked like the same person. Here's Alyssa. If you post photos like this and you dye your...
Okay, once again, let's go back to Pinterest. What should we type in? Beige outfit mirror. Oh, really? So this blonde girl will look exactly the same as like this blonde girl, right? So if they both posted that, then would you be like, oh my god, they look the same, right? Oh, that's the same one. And then there's like this one with like light brown hair and this one. So like those two look the same. And so then you're like, well, when you're covering your face, you look the same, right? Like, you know? And then this one and this one, let's say, it's like, okay, well, you look the same when you cover your face, right? Like these pictures have been happening for years, if not decades. I was gonna say decades. Like since the invention of the iPhone, we have had these photos, right? Like this one has dark hair. Why is this one not getting a copyright claim? Why is this one not getting a copyright claim? Why is this one not getting a copyright claim? I think it's because she was salty that she got blocked and that she wasn't like invited to the friendship group and wasn't like accepted into the friendship group. She's just a bit mad about it. And that's fine. We can be angry, but we don't have to bring like legal into this.
Someone. Does that mean you're misappropriating their likeness? And further, if you post photos like this, if your house looks like this and you make content, are you infringing on someone's copyright? I think one of the strangest things about this story is how it's legitimately unclear what exactly happened. Like I spent months thinking about this, writing about this. I talked to both women, I talked to legal experts, I talked to other influencers, and there's honestly a world where I can see that these two women arrived at the same type of content completely organically, or at least driven by their algorithms. If your personalized algorithm is aggressively beige and it only promotes Amazon products and it only promotes content like what you already make, isn't it natural that it would start looking and resembling other people's content? As I was writing this story, I kept thinking about sort of the weird similarities that I noticed in between the two women. Two different photographers took these images, but you know, this is in both of their houses and they have the same setup for pictures, for example. They're both black.
Technically, yes, one was like a 3x2, one was a 3x3, and like they look different to me. I don't know. It's, once again, you put things side by side and you go, yeah, that looks the same. But then you put it side by side with Pinterest and 100,000 other girls, and it's like suddenly we all just look the same.
Both black and white. These women are very successful. They both bought houses recently. Is it possible that their algorithms were pushing them towards each other and towards resembling one another? Social media and fast fashion and cheap home decor is driven by scale. They want to appeal to the most amount of people for as cheap as possible. When you're a content creator, your content is driven by what the algorithm tells you is good, how videos perform. You obviously will start to converge a little bit and videos will start to look the same. I think it's also important just to say clearly that these two women and other Amazon influencers have built an empire for themselves based on cheap, fast clothing, home goods, and decor. Products come from faceless, nameless companies. We don't know how they're produced, and a lot of it will just end up in the landfill. And Amazon profits. What I'd love for people to take away from this piece and from this lawsuit is that these two women in their early 20s are duking it out in court, spending a ton of money on legal fees. It's obviously very emotionally difficult for them, but Amazon profits either way. To Amazon, it doesn't...
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, Amazon home finds. Okay. Right. So, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no one's got original style these days. I'm going to mute some of these because there's no point, but like, another beige, like this is another beige. Oh, doesn't this look oddly familiar, this style? That's actually really cute, but like, oh, this chair, And this is someone called Ashley Thomas, and she's got a very similar style, I dare to say. More beige. This one's a bit different. More beige. This is platinum purchase. More of this. Summer styles. Another one, thank you. Our home style. So I just hate to be the bearer of bad news, but none of this is original. It's all cute, but none of it is original. And that's, I think, where I'm gonna close this off. Let me know what you guys think, though. We could agree or disagree. I don't really know, and it's fine either way. But subscribe to the bell icon for engagement. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.